Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, mahalo to Longs Drugs Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longs Drugs for all your shopping needs. The mainland is caught in the grip of a massive winter storm that stretches from Canada to Mexico. The extent of the weather system is almost unprecedented, with tens of millions of Americans left to endure frigid temperatures, blizzard conditions, and power outages. According to the National Weather Service, more than 200 million people were under some sort of winter advisory or warning today. More than 458,000 homes and businesses across the country were without power this morning as the storm plowed through the Midwest and East. Forecasters said a bomb cyclone had developed near the Great Lakes, stirring up blizzard conditions, including heavy winds and snow. The storm is causing chaos for travelers trying to make it home for the holidays. More than 3,400 flights were canceled as of this morning, and some airports were forced to close runways. Train services have also been suspended in some areas. After an alarmingly early and brutal start, the flu is waning in many parts of the country. A tracking system run by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention saw the number of flu hospital admissions fall for the second week in a row. The percentage of doctor visits due to fever and other flu-like symptoms has been in decline for 3 weeks. Despite the decrease, CDC data indicates flu activity was still high or very high in 45 states last week. Experts also caution that second flu waves are common. The annual winter flu season usually doesn't get going until December or January, but this one took off early in November. Complicating matters this year are other viruses like COVID-19 and RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, which are spreading at the same time. U.S. military personnel are no longer required to get the COVID-19 vaccine. The mandate was lifted under an $858 billion defense spending bill passed by Congress and signed into law today by President Joe Biden. Biden had opposed the Republican-backed provision, but ultimately accepted it to win passage of this legislation. The Defense Department has 30 days to work out the details for repealing the mandate. In the meantime, military services will pause personnel actions like discharging troops who refuse the shot. More than 8,400 service members were forced out of the military for refusing to obey a lawful order when they declined to get the vaccine. It's unclear if they will be allowed to return. Thousands of other troops have sought religious and medical exemptions. The new law effectively ends those exemption requests. There are still questions regarding limited restrictions that may continue for troops on specific missions or assigned to areas of the world where vaccination is still required. A 33-year-old motorcyclist died Thursday afternoon in a single vehicle crash in Windward Oahu. The collision happened in the area of Kamehameha Highway and Huna'ahi Street at about 2:45. Police said the motorcyclist was traveling eastbound on the highway at a high rate of speed when he lost control. The vehicle veered off the road and struck a guardrail, throwing the man to the ground. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police said speed was a factor in the crash, and it is unknown whether drugs or alcohol were contributing factors. The incident marks Oahu's 54th traffic-related fatality this year. There were 46 fatalities recorded at the same time in 2021. Commercial vehicles that were prohibited from Hanauma Bay during the COVID-19 pandemic will soon be allowed to return. The city has announced that approved tour vehicles can enter the site's commercial vehicle parking lot starting January 4th. Parking is limited to 15 minutes and rates vary by vehicle size. All passengers must remain on the upper level and are not allowed onto the beach below. The city also announced that scuba and snorkel guides can return to the nature reserve in February. Applications for daily scuba snorkel permits will be accepted from January 27th. Up to 4 daily permits may be issued at a time. Visit StarAdvertiser.com for more information on parking rates and permit details. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great weekend, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you back here next week Tuesday.